Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Cameron Bailey. I'm the artistic director here at TIFF, and I'm here to welcome you to the night of the world premiere of A Private War. This is the new film by Matthew Heineman, and we're very pleased to be presenting it to you for the very first time in the world. We want to begin by acknowledging where we are tonight, the land that we're on. This is the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and Huron-Wendat First Nations. We're here tonight. They have been here on this land for thousands of years, and we're grateful to be a part of this community. Two more days to vote for our most important prize, the Grolsch People's Choice Award. That's the award that you vote for, so please remember to vote. You go online to tiff.net/vote and vote for the films of your choice. Big thanks to Bloom and to Aviron Pictures for providing us with this film. And I'm especially pleased to present this tonight because many reasons. The people involved in bringing this film to us are people I have a lot of respect for, but also it's a portrait of a quality that I greatly admire and I think many of us strive for, and that is quite simply fearlessness. It's the story of Marie Colvin, a journalist who just threw herself into some of the most dangerous situations in the world. You'll see that in the film. She knew why she was doing it. She knew what was at stake, and including her life. And she was able to do that with fearlessness every day of her career. It's also a portrait, I think, in a way, of the fearlessness of the people who made the film. The star is a woman who started at a very young age on the screen, and her first movie was a James Bond movie, Die Another Day, where she played someone quite remarkable, if you have seen that film. She went on to a really interesting range of films, everything from An Education to another girl who might rival Marie Colvin, the woman in Gone Girl, who was just a remarkable character and played with great grace and ferocity by Rosamund Pike. And the director of this film also has displayed fearlessness throughout his entire career. He's an Oscar-nominated filmmaker. He's twice won the Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Documentary Award from the Directors Guild of America, and his films have taken him and his audience to some quite dangerous places as well. His films include Our Time, Escape Fire, The Fight to Rescue American Healthcare, Cartel Land, which was nominated for an Academy Award, The Third Man, and City of Ghosts. He has, through his documentaries, brought some of the crises spots, the hot spots around the world to his audiences. In this film, he makes his narrative fiction feature debut, and it's quite a remarkable shift that he's made. He's come to introduce the film to you this evening, so please join me in welcoming the director of A Private War, Matthew Heineman.
Wow, it's a big room. It's been an amazing journey making this film, and I'm deeply honored to have our world premiere here at TIFF. A massive thanks to Piers, Cameron, and everyone at the festival for inviting us to be part of this festival, and an incredible group of films that is here. A big thanks to the staff and all the volunteers too. I'd like to thank Marie Brenner, whose original Vanity Fair article was the inspiration for this film. I'd like to thank David Dinerstein, Jason Resnick, and the rest of the team at Aviron, and Alex Walton from Bloom for championing the film and getting it out into the world. The production was definitely a team effort, and I want to acknowledge the following people who are here with us, and I'd like to bring them on stage. Our producers, Basil Wanek and Marissa McMahon. Our composer, H. Scott Slanis. Jamie Dornan would have loved to have been here, but unfortunately he could not make it. Sorry, guys. I know. Yeah, sorry. I can tell what side of the audience won. But we are thrilled that Paul Conroy, who Jamie plays in the film, is here with us tonight. Paul was Marie Colvin's photographer, her dear friend, and for me, and I think everyone who worked on this film, just a massive inspiration. So thank you, Paul. And last, but obviously not least, I'd like to bring Rosamund Pike on stage. For me, this film is deeply personal and quite meaningful on a number of different levels. But especially in this era where media and journalism is under attack, for me, it's an homage to journalism. It's an homage to people like Marie, who are fighting to shed light on dark corners of the world. So thank you all for coming, and yeah, we'll be here afterwards to answer some questions, so thank you. Thank you so much. I want to first bring up Rosamund Pike.
Thank you.
The real Paul Conroy.
Really, thank you.
And our producers, Marissa and Basil.
Questions? I know that I have one. When did you know that you wanted to tell Marie Colvin's story?
Yeah, so my background is in documentaries, and
Yes.
Marissa and Basil approached me after I made a film called Cartel Land, and I just felt a huge connection to Marie. I never was able to meet her, but you know, when I first read an early draft of the script, I knew that this was a story that I had to tell, and I felt just an enormous connection to her and a desire to tell her story.
We're glad you did. Yes, right there, please. Congratulations on a wonderful film. The question is for Paul. How much do you feel that the film here truly reflects what was going on?
As close as you're going to get to being there, actually. I think the way Matt and Roz and Jamie, everybody, the amount of work that went into getting that level of detail and the feeling to it is astounding. You know, absolutely. I just sat and watched it again, and you know, it takes me back. And you really do get a sense of the sheer horror of that place, what the civilians went through, and what we caught the tail end of. And, you know, just I completely salute the art of filmmaking, and what Ros has done for Marie, you know, absolutely touched me to the heart.
Yes, go ahead.
You're welcome.
The question is for Rosamund. While playing her, did you feel that you ultimately came to understand why she did what she did?
I do, and I feel watching it tonight, I felt that, well, really this story is about one thing and one thing only, and that's somebody who put their life on the line for other people, ultimately. You know, who you know, had such a strong sense of purpose when she was in that environment. And that gave her life a clarity and purpose. I think the flip side of it was that on home turf, her life lacked that same clarity and purpose. But I think she believed that, I don't know if it's an extreme level of empathy that means you feel that if you go with people into their pain, that you will shed light to others on that pain. And I think she knew that her words would hit home, which they did. I just think it would be devastating to her, for her to see that the conflict 6 years later is not resolved, and so many people have died.
Thank you. Yes, there, please. The question is for Paul. She says, thank you for all the work that you did there. And she's asking further to that. Well, we should say that. Thank you. She asked, was there at any point where you had reservations about making the film, participating?
Not really. You know, I wanted to clear it with her family first. That was really important because we're always in touch. And they said, you know, please do. So, no, I mean, what a great thing, you know. I mean, she died doing, you know, I remember her partner said to me afterwards, we were having a couple of whiskeys, and he said, she'd have made a shit old woman, wouldn't she? And it was like, yeah, she really would have. So that was that side. But when the film came up, and I spoke first with Matt, and I met Ros and Matt in the Frontline Club, which is the journalist club in London. And no, it just felt completely right. And, you know, because everyone had said, like, Hollywood, whoa, they'll talk to you for 5 minutes, and then you'll be sitting in a parking lot about 20 miles away. But it absolutely wasn't like that. I was completely, probably overly involved. Poor Jamie. I mean, no, poor Ros and Jamie, two people had to look at me and Marie and try and get in our heads. That's a terrifying task.
Which you did. Yes, at the back there, please. So first I'd like to say she'd like to commend the director for finding a fine balance between the passion and the pain of this story, which she commends you on. And she's also asking Paul here, then, if I understand, what did it feel like almost to relive some of those moments when you saw the blast on this day?
When we shot that, I was there as we were getting ready, and Jamie, really rather sensitive chap that he is, came and took me away and said, you don't have to see this. And because it was, you know, it was at that point, we'd shot it like chronologically correct, hadn't we? So we were getting to the final scene, and you know, there was a lot of emotion on set. And I think they took me in the other room and sat down, and I didn't watch that. But when I've seen it there, it's, you know, God. I mean, the film brings back really lovely memories as well. It may not look like there's really lovely memories in there, but even when it was pretty dodgy, there were lovely memories. So you know, it triggers off, and a lot of the scenes when Ros and Jamie were doing me and Marie, just it's all a bit weird, Truman Showy. But it was great, because I'd just sit there, and it wasn't overwhelming sadness. It just triggered off, and it was like, how often do you get that, to get and sit and watch all this amount of effort that these guys put in to doing a scene that you'd actually been there. And so it was lovely. I really got touched by it. You know, it was like, and the humor, you know, they had the humor. I don't regret a second of it. In fact, I loved every minute of it. As bad as the events were, the actual experience of doing it was, you know, one of the best I've had.
Congratulations to you all for a wonderful film. I'm afraid we've run out of time. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for bringing the film to us.
Thank you.
And for reliving with Marie. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I don't know, I've met... Thank you.